Okay, resolve into partial fractions. 2 minus 11x plus x squared minus 7x power 3 over x squared plus 2 to the power 2. So this will be a x plus b over x squared plus 2. And because it's repeating, so we'll have cx plus d over x squared plus 2 to the power 2. And then you multiply throughout by what? By x squared plus 2 squared. So this, and that will cancel. So we'll have 2 minus 11x plus x squared minus 7x3 is equal to this, and the power will cancel. So we'll have ax plus b multiplied by x squared plus 2 plus this, and this whole thing will cancel. So there we just have cx plus d. Then we expand because you can't eliminate. So we expand. We have 2 minus 11x plus x squared minus 7x3 is equal to ax times x. We get ax power 3 plus 2ax plus bx squared plus 2b plus cx plus d. Then you check. We're now comparing the coefficients. For these two to be equal, the coefficient of x3 should be the same. So a should be equal to -7. So a is equal to -7. Yes. The coefficient of x squared. How many do we have? We have 1. So b is equal to 1. Equal to the coefficient of x squared this side. The coefficient of x, cx plus 2ax. So 2ax plus cx should be equal to -11x, meaning that 2a plus c should be equal to -11. But a is -7 plus c is equal to -11. So we have c is -11 plus 14. So c is equal to 3. Yes. What next? This, the constants, 2b plus d should be equal to 2. What is b? b is 1. So we have 2 minus 2. So d is 0. Like that. So you say 2 minus 11x plus x squared minus 7x3 over x squared plus 2 squared is equal to a is -7x plus 1 over x squared plus 2 plus c is 3x plus d, which is 0 over x squared plus 2 squared. Like this. So that's how we do the thing. That way. Question 2.
So I must say for the previous page, just a minute, a second. So you remove just a second. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
I want to find the term independent of x in the expansion of x minus 1 over 2x to the power 20. Now, you guys remember that in the binomial expansion, we had this term NR A n minus R dr. This is the term that you use to get any term that they mention. And so in this case, since we don't know what R is, so we know n is 20. Remember, n is always the power. And then R is not known. And then A is always this first thing. So it will be x to the power of 20 minus R. And then B is always this thing here. Repeat it with its sign. So negative 1 over 2x to the power R. And then your target, since you are saying a term independent of x, the target is to put all the powers of x together. All the x's that we're able to see, we put them together. That will be 20 R and then negative 1 over 2 to the power R. We have left x in the denominator. So we'll have 20 minus R multiplied by 1 over x to the power R. The x that was left in the denominator. Now we can push it up. If x is left in the denominator like this, you can write it as x to the power negative R. And if the bases are the same, then you can add the powers. So you just add, here we say plus negative R, because the bases were equal. So that means we are taught the term independent of x, so now we concentrate in the powers of x. We get the whole power of x and equate it to 0. So we say 20 minus 2R is equal to 0. meaning 20 is equal to 2R. Divide by 2, divide by 2. So R becomes 10. Then you come back here and say, oh, so it means the term is the term 10 plus 1, 20, 10, and then negative half to the power 10, and the x to the power 20 minus 10 minus 10. Okay, so I'm putting this here because I want to show you what the question means. So this is 20, 10, and then negative to the power 10 is positive. So we just have half to the power 10. And then x to the power 20 minus 20 is like x to the power 0. Is like x to the power 0, which is 1. And because it's 1, we don't even write it. So this term is independent of x. So this is the solution. Not complicated.
Sir,
Hello.
is it good to leave it just there, or we are supposed to continue expanding?
This is the good utility just. We are going to another example. For those who are doing the screenshot, this is the time. So take note that from first, so that week you'll be, some of you will be still be writing the previous. So from, well, let me say 10th. Yeah. So if you start on 10th, yeah. From 10th September 2022. We'll be doing exam preparation. So take note of this date. So just the week after that's quizzes, then we'll start preparing for the exam. Because you know the exam is a bigger thing, 70%. It's not, you can't joke around this. Okay, next. Another example. The term in x squared over y squared of x over y minus y squared over x squared to the power 8. So again, you do TR plus 1 is NR, A, N minus R, BR. N is 8, R is unknown, A is X over Y, that's 8 minus R, and then minus Y squared over X squared, R. like that. So here, if you want, you can just target X. Say, okay, I will just put the X's together. The other things you can forget about them. So this is X, 8 minus R over Y, 8 minus R, and then minus Y squared R, and because the X is coming from the denominator, we'll give it a negative power 2, and then multiplied by R. And then from here, you just concentrate on the X. So you get X, 8 minus R, multiplied by X, negative 2R, which is the same thing as X, 8 minus 3R, and then this equated to X to the power 2. The one mentioned in here. So this will mean you equate the powers because the bases are the same. So you have 8 minus 3R is equal to 2, implying that negative 3R is equal to 2 minus 8. So negative 3R is equal to negative 6. Divide by negative 3, divide by negative 3. So R is equal to 2. So you go back and say, okay, so it means the term number 3 is equal to 8, 2, and then X, 8 minus 2 over Y, 8 minus 2 multiplied by, you can even take it there back. Maybe just substitute on the original second form, this one. It's supposed to be the second session, but if you are late, if that's when you are joining, just count it to be a first session so that you don't get confused. So T3 is equal to 8. So I'll just come back to this one, which should be easy for substitution. So you say X over Y, 8 minus 2, and then negative Y squared over X squared to the power 2. That would be 8, 2, and then X over Y to the power 6, and then positive Y squared over X squared power 2. So if we split the 2 inside, this is going to be, what is 8 choose 2? 8 choose 2 is like 8 factorial, 2 factorial, 6 factorial. So it's 8 times 7 over 2. 2 here, 1, 2 here, 4. So we get 28. So we have 28. So we have 28. And then X, 6 over Y, 6. And then Y, 4 over X, 4. So you can see that you get 28. The Y's, if you have, the X's, same base, one in the denominator, one in the numerator, you subtract the power. The same thing will happen to Y, you subtract the power down, so that you get it in the form that it is 128 X squared over Y squared, like this. So it means that any term that they'll tell us, any power that they'll give us, is the power where we equate those that's mentioned. But
Yeah.
Hello.
There where we chose X. Can you also choose Y, or maybe it's just supposed to be X?
Yeah, you can also choose Y because even Y has been given. So you can choose Y and equate to the power 2 to give us the same value. You can even choose the whole thing as X over Y and equate it to the power 2. Anything here works.
So how does that negative?
And negative to the power 2 is positive. Negative times negative is positive. This is negative power 2. This one.
Oh, okay, all right, sir.
So, sir, you can't leave it there on 8, choose 2, x, choose y to the power 6, and y choose 2, or y to the power 2, divided by x to the power 2.
You have to leave it in the form, this one here, x squared over y squared.
Sir,
Hello.
there on X to the power 8 minus 3r equal to X to the power 2. How did it happen?
From there going down, or how we got to this point?
How we got to that point
So after
on the x power 2 part.
So the question says you should find the term in x2 over y2. So that is where we got this x2 from the question.
Okay. So if it was y, you could have put equal to y2.
Yes.
All right.
So that's how you do the things. So the videos will be uploaded as agreed in the group after we're done watching the game. Right.
Sir.
Just I know you're doing. Hello.
So can you do the one from the test they did, the previous test?
It's this same one.
Can I state it? It says in the binomial expansion of open brackets 1 plus x over k to the power n, where k is a positive integer, the coefficient of x and x squared are equal.
One
Question
plus,
1.
first 1 plus
X over k
to the power
n.
Okay, where the coefficient of x and x
And
squared are equal.
yes, and k is a positive integer. Then question 1 says show that 2k is equal to n minus 1.
And then 2.
Then question 2, if n is equals to 7, determine the value of k.
And k. So we'll start with part 2. Part 2, if n is equal to 7 in this expression, then we'll have 7 minus 1 is equal to k. 7 minus 1 is equal to 2k. So 6 is equal to 2k. So k is equal to 3. We have found k. Is it okay? We are given the equation in 1 that n minus 1 is equal to 2k. Then question 2, they tell you that if n is 7, what is k? So you substitute in that same equation. Then part 2, you expand this. This is 1 plus n multiplied by x over k plus n multiplied by n minus 1 over 2 x over k squared. The question says if the coefficient of x and x squared are equal. So if this coefficient of x here, which is n over k, is equal to the coefficient of x here, which is n minus 1 over 2 k squared. If these two are equal, show that you can get to this point. So here we'll cross multiply first. We'll have 2k squared multiplied by n is equal to kn multiplied by n minus 1. If we divide by kn, we divide by kn, this will go, and this k will take away the power. So we'll have 2k is equal to n minus 1 as required. So you just do the expansion and then pick the coefficients that are said to be equal. Equate them. And you get the solution. This is a very easy question. If you understand any bit of binomial. It looks tough. There's nothing tough in mathematics. Everything is easy. Just depending on which area you have touched. Liverpool cannot win Manchester United. You will see. So guys,
So Man U support.
yeah. Can you please help us support Manchester United? Now that's the question in the Twitter sheet on binomial. Oh, that's the
Are you sure you're going to win?
We're done with the Excel. Yeah, we'll win. We'll win today.
Really, sir?
Maybe 3-1.
So, coefficient. What's our coefficient?
The coefficient. No, you don't need to know the coefficient. Just wanted to show that this comes out. You should post the question in the group so that they can see. So this is the solution of the question that will be posted in the group. Don't get confused. And enjoy the game. See you on Wednesday. Until you assemble your badge. Keep watching good.
All the best, sir.
Yeah.